Singularities. A singular point, a point at which f of z is undefined, that is, the denominator of that is 0. This point is called a singular point. When denominator becomes 0, the point is a singular point. A point at which f of z is undefined, that is, denominator is equal to 0, then this is a singular point. That is, f of z is equal to 1 upon z minus 1, z plus 2, that is z minus 1 is equal to 0 and z plus 2 equal to 0. That means z is equal to 1 and z is equal to minus 2. This is a singular point, okay? And this is a singular point. So this is isolated singular point, okay? Not infinite singular point, okay? Infinite number of singular point. So that's why we call it as isolated singular point. The next example is f of z is equal to 1 upon e raised to z minus 1. The singular point is when denominator is equal to 0. That is when e raised to z minus 1 is equal to 0. So when e raised to z is equal to 1, when it is 0, when it is 1, e raised to z is equal to 1. When? Then e raised to I, 2 and pi. Then and then only e raised to z is equal to 1. So here, what is this? Z is equal to I, 2 and pi. That is, z is equal to 0, z is equal to 2i pi, z is equal to 4i pi, and z is equal to 6i pi up to infinity, okay? Then and then only e raised to z is equal to 1. So here infinite number of points, so we can call it is a non-isolated singular point. Types of singularities. There are 3 types of singularities: essential singularity, pole of order, and removable singularities, okay? So when f of z, that is z is equal to a is equal to summation positive power z minus a raised to n plus summation negative power, that is z minus a raised to minus n, that is, this is the numerator one term and this is a denominator. When z is at numerator, when z is at denominator, okay? So that is f of z is from n, summation over n from 0 to infinity, a and z minus a raised to n plus summation over n from 1 to infinity, b and z minus a raised to n. That is, this term is a numerator term and this term at a denominator term, okay? So this is analytic part, okay? This is minus, okay? And numerator term is analytic part and the denominator term is a principal part, okay? Raised to n and raised to minus n, that is when z is at a numerator, it is analytic part, okay? This type is the analytic part, and when the z is at a denominator, this is the principal part. That is e raised to 1 by z, that is equal to 1. Okay, 1 plus 1 upon 1 factorial 1 by z plus 1 upon 2 factorial 1 by z square plus 1 by 3 factorial 1 upon z cube. That means when the z, here z at numerator, okay, z raised to 0, that is at numerator, so this one is analytic part, and here in all this term the z is at a denominator, so this one is a principal part, okay? E raised to 1 by z is equal to 1 plus 1 by z plus 1 upon 2 factorial 1 by z square plus 1 upon 3 factorial 1 by z cube. So this one is a principal part and this one is an analytic part. So f of z is equal to z raised to 2 cos 1 by z. Okay, this one is the example. Then we know that cos theta is equal to 1 minus theta square by 2 factorial plus theta raised to 4 by 4 factorial minus theta raised to 6 by 6 factorial up to infinite. Okay, then here what is this? Cos 1 by z. So here f of z is equal to z raised to 2, okay, into cos 1 by z is 1 minus 1 upon 2 factorial 1 by z square plus 1 upon 4 factorial 1 by z raised to 4 minus 1 upon 6 factorial 1 upon z raised to 6. So here z square minus 1 upon, when we multiply this term, okay, to this all these terms, so this becomes z raised to 1 z raised to 2 into 1 is z raised to 2 minus 1 upon 2 factorial into z raised to 2, that is it cancel each other. Here 1 upon 4 factorial into z raised to 2 by z raised to 4, that is 1 upon z raised to 2 minus 1 upon 6 factorial z raised to 2 upon z raised to 6, that is 1 upon z raised to 4. So here z terms at a numerator, okay, so that's why this is analytic part, okay, and here all the z terms, okay, at a denominator, okay, 1 upon z square, 1 upon z raised to 4. So this is the principal part, okay, this is analytic part and this is principal part. Types of singularity, that is first one is essential singularity, that is when f of z is equal to e raised to 1 by z, then when z is equal to 0, okay, then e raised to 1 upon z is equal to infinite, okay, so the singular point is at z is equal to 0, okay, f of z e raised to 1 by z is 1 plus 1 by z plus 1 upon 2 factorial 1 upon z square plus 1 upon 3 factorial into 1 upon z cube. So here the z at a numerator, so this is analytic part and this is the principal part, okay, so principal part is up to infinite, okay, infinite number of terms in the principal part, okay, so we can call it is a essential singularity, okay, when the infinite number of terms in a principal part, then we call it is a essential singularity, okay, that is principal point contains infinite number of terms, so we call it is a essential singularity. When z is equal to 0, it is a essential singular point. F of z is equal to z cos 1 by z, it is singular point at z is equal to 0, then cos theta is equal to 1 minus theta square by 2 factorial plus theta raised to 4 by 4 factorial minus theta raised to 6 by 6 factorial, okay. So here cos 1 by z, so f of z, z into 1 minus 1 upon 2 factorial 1 by z square plus 1 upon 4 factorial 1 upon into 1 upon z raised to 4. So here we multiply this z to this all this term, so this is z, this is 1 upon 2 factorial 1 by z plus 1 upon 4 factorial 1 upon z cube. So here this is the principal part and this is the analytic part, okay, at a numerator there is a z and here at a denominator there is z, so this is the principal part and this is the analytic part. Here at a principal part there is a number of infinite number of terms, so we can call it is a essential singularity, okay, the point z is z at 0, z is equal to 0 is called the essential singular point, or this is the essential singularity. That is pole of order, that is f of z is equal to z upon z minus 1 z minus 2 square, okay. So principal point contains finite number of terms, then denominator is equal to 0, that is z minus 1 raised to 1 is equal to 0, here n is equal to 1 and here z becomes z minus 1 is equal to 0, that is z is equal to 1. So here pole of order is 1, that is simple polar, and here z minus 2 raised to 2 is equal to 0, here n is equal to 2 and z is here z minus 2 is equal to 0, that is z is equal to 2. So here pole of order 2, okay, here n is equal to 1, so that's why here pole of order 1, and here n is equal to 2, so that's why here pole of order 2. Here n is equal to 1. So that's why pole of order 1. So we can call it as a simple pole. Removable singularities, that is f of z is equal to, this is the third type of singularity. Okay, first one is essential singularity, then pole of order, and this is the third one is removable singularity. Then f of z is equal to sin z by z. When z is equal to 0, that is 0 by 0 undefined. Okay, when this z is 0, so any term by 0, this is the infinite. So singular point at z is equal to 0. So here sin theta is equal to, what is the sin theta? Is theta minus theta cube by 3 factorial plus theta raised to 5 by 5 factorial up to dash 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 dash. So here f of z is equal to sin z by z. So it is 1 upon z. This 1 by z take outside. Then what is sin z? Sin z is z minus z cube by 3 factorial plus z raised to 5 by 5 factorial up to dash 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 up to infinite. So here when we divide this 1 by z to the, or multiply this 1 by z, so it is 1 minus z square by 3 factorial plus z raised to 4 by 5 factorial up to dash dash dash. Here principal point is absent. Okay, because all terms are at a numerator. Z is at a numerator, not at a denominator. When z is at denominator, this is the principal point. And when the z is at numerator, this is the analytic point. So here all are analytic points. Okay, principal point is absent. So that's why we can call it as a removable singularity. Okay, when principal point is absent, we can call it as a removable singularity. Residue is that is the another topic, residues. And when f of z is equal to 1 upon z minus a integration f of z dz, integration, that is integration 1 upon z minus a dz. The residue is when this is the circle and this point is at z is equal to a. Residue is when this is removed. We can call it as a, this is a residue. Okay, here suppose this is at this 1 2 3 4. Okay, this is the original, and when we remove this 1 2 3 4, this of here 4 residues. Okay, residues are nothing but a remove. Okay, so by taking examples we know the what is residue. Okay, so first we know that essential singularity, when principal point contains infinite number of terms, then we can call it as an essential singularity. Okay, so here f of z is equal to e raised to 1 by z. So here 1 plus 1 by z plus 1 upon 2 factorial 1 upon z in square plus 1 upon 3 factorial into 1 by z cube, so dash dash up to infinite. Okay, so here infinite number of terms, so we can call it is a essential singularity. Okay, at a principal terms. Okay, here these terms are principal terms from this. Okay, this is the principal terms, so this is infinite number, so we can call it is a essential singularity. So residue of f when z is equal to 0, then coefficient of 1 upon z minus 0, that means coefficient of 1 by z. What is the coefficient of 1 by z here? Okay, 1. So here residue is 1, that is residue f z is equal to 0 is equal to 1. Okay, coefficient of 1 by z, that is 1. So this is the residue. Okay, the next type is a pole of order. Okay, then next type of singularity is a pole of order. Okay, f of z is equal to z upon z minus a raised to n. Here pole of order is n. Okay, here denominator raised to n, that is why here pole of order is n. Here denominator is 0. It belongs, that means z is equal to a. Okay, when z minus a is equal to 0 means z is equal to a. So residue in this case is residue f z is equal to a. Okay, when z is equal to a, then residue is, here pole of order is n. So here 1 upon n minus 1 factorial limit z tends to a d n d raised to n minus 1 upon dz raised to n minus 1 into into z minus a, okay, z minus a raised to n f of z, okay, z minus a raised to n f of z, okay. So this is the formula for residue when pole of order is n, that, and when n is equal to 1, that means pole of order is 1, that means it is a simple pole, then the residue is f z is equal to a is equal to limit z tends to a z minus a f of z, okay. Here when we put n is equal to 1, so here 1 upon 1 minus 1, that is 1 minus 1, 0 factor, it becomes 1, limit z tends to a d raised to n minus 0, d raised to z 0 by d raised to z, dz raised to 0, okay. So z minus a raised to 0 f of z. So here z minus a raised to 1, sorry, this is z minus a raised to n, that means here n is equal to 1, so 1, so z minus a raised to 1 f of z. So when n is equal to 1, then residue is limit z tends to a z minus a f of z, and when n is equal to 2, then pole of order is 2, then it is residue f z is equal to a is equal to 1 upon 1 factorial limit z tends to a, okay. Here n is equal to 2, so here 2 minus 1 is 1, that is 1 upon 1 factorial limit z tends to a d by dz, that is d raised to 2 minus 1, that is d dz raised to 2 that is dz, okay. Z minus a raised to n, here n is 2, so z minus a raised to 2 f of z, okay. When pole of order is 2 and when pole of order is 1, residue is this, and when pole of order is 2, the residue is this one. F of z is equal to z upon z minus a 1 raised to 2 z minus 2, okay. F of z is equal to z minus 1, the square is equal to 0, z is equal to 1 when n is equal to 2, z minus 2 is equal to 0 when z is equal to 2, then n is equal to 1, okay. Here n is equal to 1 and here is n is equal to 2. When n is equal to 2, z is equal to 1, and when n is equal to 1, z is equal to 2. So here we have to find the residue, okay. Here pole of order 1, so n is equal to 1, so here pole of order 1, so we have to find, and here pole of order 2, okay, we have to find the residue, okay. So when z is equal to 1, then n is equal to 2, so residue f z when z is equal to 1, so n is equal to 2, that is 1 upon 2 minus 1 factorial limit z tends to 1 d raised to 2 minus 1 upon dz raised to 2 minus 1 z minus 1 raised to 2 upon, what is this? So here z upon z minus f of z is z upon z minus 1 raised to 2 z minus 2. Here z minus 1 raised to 2 and z minus 1 raised to 2 get cancelled. Then it becomes here 2 minus 1 factorial, that is 1 factorial, that is 1, that is 1. Limit z tends to 1 d by dz, z, what is remaining here, z upon z minus 2, okay. Then we have to differentiate with respect to z, okay. This is the denominator, okay, z upon z minus 2, to use division rule, that is limit z tends to 1 z minus 2, okay. This is a lower denominator term, z minus 2 minus z upon z minus 2 square. So here z tends to 1, so put z is equal to 1 here, and it becomes minus 1 upon minus 1 square. So it is minus 2, okay, minus 2, okay. This is minus 1 into minus 1, it is minus 1 minus 1. So this is minus 2 and this is minus 1 square is 1, okay. So this is minus 2. F of z is equal to, for example, f of z is equal to z upon z square plus 1, when denominator is 0, then that is z square plus 1 is equal to 0. That is z square is equal to minus 1. Here z is equal to plus or minus I. When z is equal to plus I and z is equal to minus I, then f of z is z. We can write z minus I and z plus I. So the residue of this is here n is equal to 1. That in both cases, that is z minus I raised to 1 and z plus I raised to 1. So here pole of order 1, then the residue is when z is equal to I, limit z tends to I, z minus I into f of z is z upon z minus I, z plus I. So when here z minus I get cancelled, okay, then what is remaining? Z upon z plus I. So here z tends to I. So here I upon I plus I, that is 2I, that I get cancelled, that is 1 upon 2 when z is equal to I. And when z is equal to minus I, then limit z tends to minus I, z plus I, z upon z minus I into z plus I. Here z plus I get cancelled, then minus I upon minus twice I. So here I get cancelled and minus get cancelled. So here 1 upon 2. And then when z is equal to I, it is 1 by 2, and when z is equal to minus I, it is 1 by 2. So residue is 1 by 2 here. In both cases, when z is equal to I and z is equal to minus I. The next example is z e raised to I z upon z minus pi square, that is when denominator is 0, z minus pi is equal to 0, z is equal to pi, and here n is equal to 2. So residue is at z is equal to pi, that is 2 minus 1, that is 1 upon 1 factorial, limit z tends to pi d by dz, that is 2 minus 1, that is d by dz, z minus pi square, z, and what is f of z is z e raised to I z upon z minus pi square. So this cancel, and what is remaining? Z e raised to I z. The derivative of z e raised to I z is, here limit z tends to pi, here limit z tends to pi, this is derivative of this is first function, derivative of second, that is e raised to I z, derivative of this is e raised to I z into I, plus second function e raised to I z, derivative of first is, derivative of z is 1. So this is the derivative of this term. So here z tends to pi, so I, this I, and this is pi, I pi e raised to I pi plus e raised to I into pi. So this becomes, when we take e raised to I pi outside, then it becomes 1, here 1, and this is I into pi. So this is the residue when z is equal to pi, and here pole of order is a 2. So here n is equal to 2, so here pole of order 2, and this is the residue here. Another method of finding residue, that is f of z is equal to psi of z and phi of z, that is f of x is equal to z upon z raised to 4 minus 1. And when we have to find the residue, then f of z is equal to a, that is when n is equal to 1, when pole of order is 1, then only we can apply this method. This is the numerator, this is the denominator, and in that case numerator, we have to keep numerator as it is, and we have to differentiate denominator, okay, and keep z is equal to a, okay. So psi of a as it is, and we have to differentiate, this is phi of a, okay, this is the differentiation of phi, okay, we have to differentiate denominator, okay, and then put this value of z, okay. So by taking one example, we can calculate by using these methods. Okay, f of z is equal to z upon z square plus 1. When denominator is equal to 0, z square 1 is z square plus 1 is equal to 0, z square is equal to minus 1, z is equal to plus or minus I. When z is equal to I, that is z is the numerator, keep as it is and differentiate denominator, that is twice, differentiation of this is twice z, and put the z is equal to I. So here when we put I upon twice I, that is 1 by 2. So this is the 1 by 2. So this is the residue. Okay. And when z is equal to minus I, that means also minus I upon twice minus I, that is I get cancelled. This is 1 by z. Next example, f of z is equal to z upon z raised to 4 minus 1. Here z raised to 4 minus 1 is equal to 0. That means z is equal to plus or minus I and plus or minus 1. So here n is equal to 1. So it is a simple pole. So we can apply this another method. Okay, we have to keep numerator as it is, that is z, and differentiate denominator, that is 4z cube, that is z is equal to 1. So this is 1 upon, okay, this z and z cube, so it becomes 1 upon z raised to 4 into z raised to 2. So keep z is equal to 1. So put this value 1 upon 4 into 1 raised to 2, that is 1 by 4. So this is the residue. Okay. And when z is equal to minus 1, then z, the differentiation of denominator is 4z cube and z is equal to minus 1. This is becomes 1 upon 4z square. Okay. So z is equal to minus 1. Put this value. This becomes, residue is 1 by 4. F of z is equal to cot z. Okay, so cot z is, what is the cot? Cos upon sine. So f of z is equal to cos z upon sine z. Here denominator is equal to 0 when sine z is equal to 0. When it is 0, when z is n pi. Okay, sine pi, sine 2 pi, sine 3 pi, then it is 0. So z is equal to here n pi. And that is z is equal to 0 plus or minus pi plus or minus 2 pi. This is the value of z. So when we keep first z is equal to 0, then cos z, and the differentiation of sin z is cos z. This becomes 1. When z is equal to 0, this is 1. So this residue is 1. Another example, when this fourth example, f of x is equal to tan z. Tan z is sin z upon cos z. When denominator is equal to 0, that is cos z is equal to 0. When z is equal to n pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is 0. Cos minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2. Cos 3 pi by 2. Okay, then z is equal to pi by 2, 3 pi by 2. Then residue is f z is equal to pi by 2 sin z upon the differentiation of cos z is minus sin z. So this becomes minus 1. Okay. So at z is equal to pi by 2. So the residue of this is minus 1.